All right. So a researcher conducted a survey to determine whether people in a certain large town prefer watching sports on television to attending the sporting event. The researcher asked 117 people who visited a local restaurant on Saturday, and 7 people refused to respond. Which of the following factors makes it least likely to be a reliable conclusion can be drawn about the sports watching preferences of all people in the town? Okay. So let's see. So what would make this a biased sample? Well, the fact is that they're asking people at a local restaurant. So where the survey was given is going to be my answer. Because if they're at the restaurant and they're not at the sporting event, right? So already you're getting a biased sample based on that. All right. According to the line of best fit in the scatter plot above, which of the following best approximates the year in which the number of miles traveled by air passengers in country X was estimated to be 550 billion? So 550 billion is this area right here. And that looks like the year for that would be a little less than 2005. So maybe 03. The distance traveled by Earth in one orbit around the Sun is 580 million miles. Earth makes one complete orbit around the Sun in 1 year. Okay. Of the following, which is the closest average speed in miles per hour? Okay. So it goes this many miles. Okay. And how many hours are there in a year? That's the other question. So 1 year. And if we want to get out of years, we can do a conversion factor to days, 365 days per 1 year. And then we have 24 hours in 1 day. So we have to multiply those together. That will tell us how many hours there are. So let's grab our calculator. So 24 hours times 365. So that's how many years there are. Sorry, how many hours there are in 1 year. Now we have to go 580, 0, 0, 0. More zeros. 1, 2, 3. And we have to divide by our answer. And this will tell us 66,000. That's how fast it is in miles over hours. Okay? The table above summarizes the results of 200 law school graduates who took the bar exam. If one of the surveyed graduates who passed the bar exam is chosen at random for an interview, what is the probability that the person chosen did not take the review course? So this is a probability. Probability is always success over total, right? And so if one of the surveyed graduates who passed the bar exam, so that's going to be, our total is going to be out of 25. Because of those who passed, what's the chance that they did not take the review course? That would be 7 out of 25. So it's a conditional probability. The bottom number is not the grand total necessarily. It's the total of the category that we're concerned with. The atomic weight of an unknown element in AMU is approximately 20% less than that of calcium. So 20% less than is a multiplier. It's going to be 0.8 multiplier. Okay, so you just take 100, subtract 80%, 100%, subtract 20%, leaves you with 80%. You turn that into a multiplier by moving the decimal twice to the left. So the atomic weight of the unknown element, let's call it X, is 0.8 times that of calcium. Let's call that 40, because that's the next line says it's 40. So 0.8 times 40 is 32. So that's the unknown element. A survey was taken of the value of homes in a county, and it was found that the mean was 165 and the median was 125. Which of the following statements could explain the difference between the mean and median home values in the country? Well, let's see. So the median is the absolute middle. So the middle, if you would arrange them in order, would be 125, and then the 165 is the average. So if the average skews high, like it does in this case, that means that there might be some outliers that are higher than all the rest. Okay, so there are a few homes that are valued much more than the rest. That's choice C. Sociologist chose 300 students at random from each of 2 schools and asked each student how many siblings he or she has. The results are shown below. There are a total of 2,400 students at Lincoln School and 3,300 students at Washington School. Okay. And okay, so the sampling is only 300 per each. Okay. What is the median number of siblings for all the students surveyed? Right, so let's see. Well, there's a total of 600 students. So if we do a sum here, we get 260. And the sum here gives 190. And then here we have 90 and 40 and 20. So we can count up from either end. We're looking for the 301st student. So you half it and add 1. That is the formula to get the middle student, okay? Or approximately. So 301. So 20, and then comes 60. 60 and 90 is 150. 150 and 190. Yeah, it's going to be in this section. So the answer would be 1 sibling. Based on the survey data, which of the following most accurately compares the expected total number of students with 4 siblings at the 2 schools? Okay. So the number of students with 4 siblings. So there are 10 in this school out of 300. 10 out of 300. And the total number of students in Lincoln School is 2,400. So we would expect there to be the same proportion. So now we can just reduce this number. So 10, these zeros can cancel. Then you can move the 2,400 up here, because you can move diagonally across the equal sign. Then you can cancel out another 0. So there was 2 zeros, so I'll just put 1 back. And 240 divided by 3, well, 24 over 3 is 8, so there's still a 0 there, so 80 students for that school. And now the other school has 3,300. And again, 10 out of 300 of the sample. So x out of 3,300. So again, this reduces to 1 over 30, and then the 3,300 can be moved up here. Then we lose 1 0, so just 330 over 3, and then that's going to be 110. So one of them has 80 and one of them has 110. So the total number of students with 4 siblings equal? No. The total number of students at 4 siblings at Lincoln School is expected to be 30 more? No, it's 30 less. At Washington School is 30 more. Yeah, that's true. Okay. It's 80 versus 110. A project manager estimates that a project will take X hours to complete, where X is greater than 100. The goal is for the estimate to be within 10 hours. If the manager meets the goal and takes Y hours to complete the project, which of the following inequalities represents the estimated relationship? Okay. Well, let's see. We want it to be within 10 hours. So I'm already leaning towards choice D here, because it has the difference between minus 10 and 10 would mean that the absolute difference would be less than 10. And this is a nice structure for if you want a range of values. Yeah. So basically, if you take the difference between y and x, y is the hours that it is, let's see, which one is the supposed? It will take, all right, so x is the estimate, right? And y is the actual. So if you take the difference, you want that difference in absolute value to be less than 10, meaning that it can be 10 over or 10 under.